My husband traveled to the United States and I was able to purchase some sewing supplies while he was over there. Super excited to share yards and yards of stuff and also some really fun gadgets. Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from liftingpinsandneedles.com. Welcome to this channel that is all about sewing, limitless sewing. Now, I mentioned my husband went on a trip to the States for a few weeks and he's already been back for a week. I've had a bit of time to organize the little things that I've bought over there and I'm really excited to have them because maybe for you they might seem like everyday supplies that you can get anywhere, but in my case I cannot find them here and I've looked high and low, online, locally, I've asked around and I just can't find them. Anyway, I'm really excited to share and I've got a container here full of things. I'm going to share them in no particular order. And anything I can link to, I will link down below in the description box. Some of these items I bought in like specialty shops and some of them were from Amazon.com. This is cut and sew bra foam and I'd wanted this for so long. This is 1/8 of an inch wide. This is a type of foam that you cut into shape and then you sew it with a zigzag together and you can make bra cups or you can make bras that have foam in them. Now I'm always thinking in the context of sports bras. I am really excited to make sports bras and I've already started making them. Maybe you've missed my sports bra from Green Style video I posted last week, but I've already started and I'm really excited. And when I made those bras, I didn't have any of these supplies, so I made it with what I had. There is a bra from Green Style that I really want to make called the Endurance Bra, and that one is actually made with foam inside. So actual pieces are cut in foam, and then you have main and lining. It's meant to offer a lot more support than others that don't have the foam. So I hope I got enough to make a few. I got only 2 yards. I wish I'd gotten more, you know. Now that I think of it, I should have gotten like 4 yards. But this is going to get me through a lot of bras. I suppose you don't use much. This is a type of material that only stretches mechanically just a little bit. When you have this inside bras, it gives you a lot of support there. So I'm so excited to have this. This is an adventure for me. I've never done this type of project. You know, all my adventures I share with you. So it's something that you've been scared of. Maybe I can take the fear away from you. Now, the second thing I bought on Amazon was this book, Ahead of the Curve by Kashmiret. 5 patterns in sizes 12 to 32 US. The patterns come in big paper and all the pattern is there, like all the sizes. So I would have to trace my size onto another paper to not destroy these master patterns. Very basic patterns, but I have had success with their patterns and their fitting. I am a C cup size and they do draft for a larger cup. The only major fitting adjustment I always have to make is lengthening the bodice when there is a waist seam. They tend to draft for a very short waist, super short. And I'm pretty short-waisted, but I'm tall also. So usually their waist ends up right under my bust. But I'm excited to see and browse through the fitting adjustments, and it's got a lot of information here. See what's new, see what I agree with, see what I don't agree with, you know. I don't take books like this as an absolute, like whatever it says here. I always am open to having other opinions, and I'm always finding different ways to make fitting adjustments until I find one that I mostly agree with or that makes more sense for me. So I'm excited to have another perspective here with this book. Now, I could have bought this book in Brazil, but it would have taken ages and ages and ages to get here. And when I bought it when my husband was in the States, he basically had it the next day. So that was really very fast. In this little bag, I have more than $100 worth of needles, I promise you. I bought them at Mood. The price was pretty similar to what they were at Amazon.com. And I bought all sorts. I mean, I bought packets and packets. Now, I can find Schmetz needles here in Brazil, but just one of these would cost about triple the amount that it costs over there. I got jersey needles in all sizes, universal needles. Look, showing needles can be very boring. I'm trying to show you what needle I'm using when I'm sewing so you can see what is better for what type of fabric and what weight. But definitely I was really running out of stretch needles. So I have jersey needles, universal needles. Now what is this? Microtex. Yeah, I was also running low on really sharp Microtex needles. These are really good for chiffon, for silk, and I like them in size 70 and 80. I think I got some of each. Very lightweight fabrics, very sharp needle. It's going to give you a much better result. So I was running low on those. I was basically running low on all my needles, you know. My husband couldn't believe it when he got this package. He's like, what is this? 1,000 needles. yeah, 1,000 needles basically. I also got some stretch needles in sizes 80 and 90, I believe. I got a twin needle. This is the one that I like for doing hems on knits. This is actually a stretch twin needle, and the distance between the size underneath is 2.5. And I find that this one doesn't give me that much tunneling there, and it works for lightweight to medium weight fabrics really well also. The ones that have a wider space than these, say 3.0 or 4.0, those would work with only heavy fabrics. But I think this is the sweet spot. The 2.5 is going to work with a lot of things. I've got 2 there. I should have gotten more because I'm not the type that would just use a needle until my machine breaks basically. I try to be good about it and switch every now and then, especially if I'm changing the fabric type. I'm always swapping needles around. They don't last very long because I do sew a lot. It's really hot today outside. If you see my hair's a little wet, it's just the sweat, you know, it's just really hot out here. The other thing I got was a bunch of seam rippers. Now these are the brand Dritz. I got these on Amazon, and they're just, I have used these before, and they're really sharp, and they have a really fine blade. And it's really easy to get into your stitches when you've used a really short stitch length, or if you've sewn jersey or something like that. And I tried to find small ones here, but all the ones I've tried, it just wasn't good. The blade wasn't good. It's just really hard to find good quality products, you know, at least where I live around here. So now I have 12. I can have some of these everywhere. I tend to need them everywhere. And now I'm going to have these everywhere. I also have these Dritz seam rippers that are really big and bulky, and they have a purple handle. I think they're really popular. But the blade for that one is much thicker. So I find hard time using that one with delicate projects, you know. So this is really handy. Super happy I have it. A few years ago, one of my friends in the States sent me a bottle of freight check, and I've been using it for mainly my buttonholes. I do put a few drops behind there so that nothing comes apart afterwards. I was running out. I mean, the little bottle was, you know, almost empty. So I got 2 more. And I've looked for a product like this high and low here. I just cannot find anything like that. And when I ask, even local seamstresses, this like type of glue that they're like, no, they don't know it, they don't use it, you know. And look, to be honest, I hadn't used this for the past 30 years. But once you get something new and you see that it's useful for your sewing, and then you run out, then you start missing it, you know? You don't really know what you miss if you haven't used it. But once you have, yeah, it's the same thing that happens with the serger, basically. You know, I sewed so many years without it, but once I had one, I feel at this point I would feel really incomplete if I didn't have a serger. But you can sew without it. It's just that it's nicer to have it, you know? Before I keep showing you my goodies, I wanted to let you know what the feature Friday today is for Love Notions. And it's a Whistler. This is the one I made last year. I've chosen the option with the short collar. There's another option that has a hood, but they all have this overlapped piece here. But this piece comes from the shoulder and it curves out here. And in that seam, you have pockets. Super interesting sewing construction. I have filmed it for you so you can see how to make it there, how to put the short collar together. There's a little bit of a pivot point area there, and it's such a cool pattern. Look, I had a real struggle to put this on and take new photos because I wanted to show you another type of styling. Last year I took pictures with like heels and a skirt. Now I just wanted it more casual with like fitted pants, and so see a little lookbook here, just updated styling. It's basically fitting the same as it was last year, so that's good. This is my Whistler pullover in green sweater knit. This is the feature Friday pattern. That means it's only $5 today. Mine's an extra large with a standard bust. It goes up to a 5X, and there's also a full bust option. You can put a hemband if you want. These curved seams in the front have the pockets integrated into there. You can see how to sew on my video. I've chosen the short collar option, but you can also add a hood. They all have that overlap in the front, and the buttons that you put there are optional. I decided to put mine there because I might not put anything underneath. I really love that short collar. I really like the fit. The sewing techniques are unique, and the style is also super original, not like anything else I've ever sewn before. And it was a really fun project to put together, super cozy for when it gets colder. The pattern has already been updated, so it's got the full size range, it's got the standard bust and the full bust option, and you can choose different lengths. You can put a hemband. That little seam under here, you can make it gathered if you want to. If you're using a softer drapier fabric, you can make it into a dress, a tunic, a top. I'd love to figure out a way to make this summer friendly by maybe modifying the short collar a little bit and just using a lighter fabric. I'd also love to omit the pockets and keep that curved seam. And I've done something similar with the OmgLoSteve coat that has a similar pocket construction technique. So I had these thoughts in my mind, but I just didn't get around to making it this time. If this is a style that you like, it's always nice to get the pattern for like 60-something% off, $5 only today, Friday. And remember, these sales run only on Fridays, maybe to the early morning hours of Saturday. So if you see the video later and expect to see the $5 there, of course it's not going to be there because it's only on Fridays. I'll leave you my affiliate link down below, as well as the video I made already, so you can see how to put it all together. Years and years and years ago, when I lived in New Zealand, I bought an OFA rotary cutter. You know, the one with the 45mm blades. And back then I bought a bunch of OFA blades and they served me for a very long time until they actually ran out. And here I've just bought really cheap generic blades that I can find. They don't last, they go dull super fast. It's always really frustrating because I buy huge quantities of them. They are cheap, they don't last. I'd love to try something a little bit better. So I looked around on Amazon and I got these. It says they're Japanese steel, 15 blades in a packet. I have 30 blades. I think these are gonna last a pretty long time. This is how the packet looks. The brand is Hadley, I think. Long-lasting Japanese steel. I have a lot of faith in this Japanese steel for some reason. These were a little more expensive than other rotary blades I saw on Amazon. I didn't buy the OFA blades. I thought they were too expensive. And yeah, I'd love to try these. I'll let you know over time if this is something I can recommend and if it's something that lasts longer than the cheapy ones I was using here. But I'm excited to have something better quality to work with because it's super frustrating when you just cut and part of the blade is blunt and it leaves areas that are not cut and you have to go back in there. It's a time waste and no one needs to waste time with that, you know. I have bought clear elastic again. Look, this little tiny thing of elastic I think has 30-something yards. It's a 1/4 of an inch wide. I think it's like $8 or $9 on Amazon. Last year when I bought it, including shipping and taxes, I paid triple that amount or maybe 4 times the amount. It was ridiculous. So for me, it's like a gold premium type of notion. I don't use it for just anything. At this point, I'm only using it to make bras and camis to support these areas in here. But I'm not going to be using it for other things, you know. If I want to stabilize shoulders, I'll use something else. But I bought 2 more of those, so I have like 60-something more yards, which should get me a lot of projects. And I paid just, you know, the good price. I have 2 of these also. The other one I couldn't find it, but this is a little wider. It's 3/8 of an inch wide. So that should serve me for making bra straps maybe more stable. I tried to use a 1/4 of an inch for that once and it was a big fail. But now I have one that's wider. I think these are going to be super handy for me. And I'm so glad to have my hands on them. I'm pretty sure most of you can find these easily. I just cannot. And now I have them. Coming back to my excitement with sports bras, I'm really interested in using actual firm bra strapping when I can. I have found really firm, good quality here in navy and black. I already have it up in my stash. And at Bra Builders, which is a website that sells bra supplies, I was able to buy more colors. These are 18mm wide or 3/4 of an inch wide. I bought purple. This is 5 yards, I think. Look, this is so nice. It's so firm. You know, it stretches less than a strap made out of fabric would. Even if it's stabilized with clear elastic, they just feel so much more supportive, you know. So that's why I wanted colors to match when I make colorful bras. And I have like an forest green. I bought darker colors. They had a lot of colors there. It was amazing. I would never find these colors here. Red, super nice. And I also have blue. I have 20 yards of colorful elastic, which is going to serve me well. I'm going to be really happy to use them. And as always, because I can't just easily get more, I'm going to really be careful about how much I use or where I use it, just to make the most use out of these. Now I also bought some rings for this size, 3/4 of an inch. They're just black, and I bought sliders. If I'm able to figure out how to make these adjustable, that is going to be super nice because I don't need to worry that much about being so exact with the length and everything. like I have to do when I'm doing them fixed. Couldn't find these rings here in black. I could find them in like fake gold, just horrible looking colors. I don't like that, so I got these. As I'd mentioned before, I really want to make the endurance sports bra from Green Style, and you needed this type of zipper because that is a zippered front type of bra that you can put on like that. So I got 3 of these to make those. I'm pretty much set for that bra. I've got the foam, I've got the zipper, I've got lots of fabric, lots of binding, I've got the pattern. All I need to do now is just make it, and I'm so excited about it. Now the next one you might think is super silly, and I got so much of it. I got 8 yards. This huge bag. When my husband got the package, he's like, that's really heavy, it weighs a lot. He actually had to buy another suitcase and pay for an extra suitcase on the plane to get all these things to me. So grateful. So this is just a lot of power net that I got from Mood Fabrics. I had already gotten 2 yards last year when my sister-in-law went to the States. She brought some for me, and I've been using them to interline the pieces of my bras that I'm making, and I think it makes a huge difference in the support. I did make one of these bras with just using a main fabric and a lining fabric. Even using supportive fabrics and everything just didn't feel supportive at all. But adding this layer is so good. It's a fabric that is not that heavy. It's got some stretch, but it's super firm. Like the stretch of it is firm. It's not like really, really stretchy. So I'm really happy. I have 8 yards. 8 yards. It's gonna last me a lifetime. But I don't have to worry about running out of this for a very long time, and I'm very, very happy. I should have bought like this amount of bra foam, you know, but I didn't. The next thing I want to show you is something that's going to help me every day when I'm filming. I made a video about 2 weeks ago about all the barriers that I face on a daily basis to make videos for you, to make them looking nice, so many things. And I just want to improve my life in little ways, using little tools, gadgets that's just going to help simplify things for me. I've had a lot of feedback from you saying that they love the sewing segment, that you can see everything so clearly, and there is a reason for that. I have a little tiny tripod that I adjust its position for every single thing that I'm sewing. Even during one seam, I might adjust it 2 or 3 times so that you can get a better angle. And that makes the sewing super slow. Like, it will take me ages to put something together. I'm always thinking, you know, how is this going to be seen better? How will you be able to appreciate what I'm doing much better? So I'm not going to have like a fixed camera showing you things from far away where you can't see. You know, that I'm always adjusting. So I've been looking for something that is really firm like this. This has got a clamp. This is going to go on a tripod that sits next to me when I'm sewing. And then this is so firm, it can hold a lot of weight. And then I have this little camera. This is what I use to film sewing. And I need it to be little so that it's in front of me, but it doesn't obstruct my view. If I tried to use my main camera for sewing, I wouldn't see what I'm doing. I've tried to use it, and I just cannot see what I'm sewing. And I have to be able to see what I'm sewing, of course, to do it correctly and show you. So this tiny little Canon is what does the job. And it's got a ball head here where I can adjust, you know, the position. But most importantly, I can have this fixed on a tripod, and for every angle that I want, this flexible thing is just going to make my life so much easier. It's going to just make it faster for me to adjust the camera to the best angle for the specific thing that I'm filming. And I'm so happy to have it. So happy. I couldn't find this here. I searched so much, but it was so easy to find on Amazon, and it's going to make my life so much better. The other main thing is this. I have a brand new camera. This camera is sold for vloggers. It's been made for people that make videos. Basically, it's got a lot of features that make life easier. It's a Sony ZV-1, and I'd been looking at reviews, and yeah, I really wanted one. I wanted another one that had an interchangeable lens, but it's sold out in the States, so I couldn't get it. I was so upset about that. But anyway, I got this. Basically, at this point, I know how to turn it on. I know how to turn it off. That is all. It's a lot smaller. It's got a lot of features that are going to help me. I am a person that sews first of all, and learning how to use my camera and adjusting is just takes a long time for me to set everything. And this has a lot of automated functions. Yeah, I'm just so happy. I just need to learn how to use it. At some point, you might see a difference in the quality. Maybe you won't, because the camera I have now is so good, but I just never learned how to use it properly. I'll keep using my Canon for my photographs because I think it takes amazing photographs. I think this one is more geared towards the filming. And I'm just happy I have 2 cameras now. I can have a bit of peace of mind. I'm always freaking out. What happens if my main camera breaks? What am I going to film with? Having 2 is awesome. And I was able to get it for the real price. If I tried to get it here, it would cost maybe about 40% more. That is a lot. I'm so happy to have this. So excited. I just have to learn it now. There's a whole lot of other technical gadgets that my husband brought me that I'm not going to share. Little lights for my studio, batteries, cables, microphones. I've bought 3 types of microphones. I've bought a lapel microphone. I've bought a tiny one that goes here that has audio in the front and the back. I've bought a big mic. I've just bought so many things that I needed, and I'm so happy to start using them now. Really just want this channel to look and sound really good. One of my main goals, and that's as important as having amazing sewing content, as I think. So I'm so happy to have my hands on these. I hope you're excited for me. Thanks for hanging out a little bit with me today. I hope you have a great weekend. Don't forget to grab your Whistler pattern if you haven't yet. It's a really nice one. I hope I can make another one in the near future. And I'll see you again very soon. Bye.